Hey guys, the Explorer 4 here, the Horror Boy. Welcome back to some more reviews, and today we're going to get into a film that I used to have DVD for. I lost it, I don't know where it went, so the DVD is missing. But nevertheless, talking about today, Stephen King's Graveyard Shift. This came out in 1990, it's a 4.9, unfortunately, on IMDb. And it was by Ralph S. Singleton. Now, unfortunately, I don't think the guy would go on to really make anything after this, which is really a shame because Graveyard Shift is a movie that I've heard very little people talk about. This is a movie that is very obscure, very unheard of, and really nobody talks about Graveyard Shift. And it's a shame because this movie I thought was really well done. This is a really good horror film. Very, very solid job on this horror film. And I think it works for a lot of reasons, and it kind of blows my mind that this is a movie that it really is put with, like, Maximum Overdrive and Thinner. Those are two of the supposedly worst Stephen King movies. I seen Thinner the other day, and I actually liked Thinner. It's not a perfect movie, but it's not great. It's decent. I did like it. Maximum Overdrive has Emilio Estevez. Emilio! So I gotta watch that eventually. Hell, it's a killer semi truck with the Green Goblin's face in the front of it, with an AC/DC soundtrack, a Stephen King cameo. You got Emilio Estevez in there. I'll mention it another time. Emilio is in that movie. Gore, I heard it's gory, I heard it's fun. So I'm actually really excited to see Maximum Overdrive. And this being such an underrated film, I do not understand why. If you're a big fan of creature feature flicks, this movie will suit your needs. This is a really awesome, really atmospheric, a story told well. It's overall a very well done creature feature flick, which is something that I didn't know of when I went into this movie. I didn't know anything about this movie going into it. Now, the movie has a pretty good cast. You've got David Andrews as the lead character. You also got Kelly Wolf, Stephen Mott, who has been in other movies as well. Stephen Mott is pretty much the villain of the movie. Such a great villain, this Warwick character. His acting, his performance, just such a good bad guy in this movie. You also got Andrew Divoff, Vic Pilzos, and you also got Brad Dourif playing the Exterminator. This is one of Brad Dourif's lesser-known roles, but I thought he did an amazing job playing the Exterminator. I love his dialogue, his scenes. I thought he was a really intense performance. I thought the energy was there. And the story I also love, because it's about the working class. And I can relate to that because I'm part of the working class. I work hard every day for what I have. I try to earn everything I got. So I'm in the working class. So it's a movie for the working class, for the people who, work for a living to earn their money. I like that. I wish more horror films were kind of about the people. There are horror films that kind of do that. Like, that's why I love a movie called They Live. It's about the working class, construction workers, and also touch on the homeless life, people being homeless and stuff like that. So I like movies where they're not about rich people up in Hollywood Hills and, because I really, it's hard to relate to that. There's still good stories, but it's hard to relate to that. But I like this because I can relate to it because I work hard, And these people, it's basically in this little town, there is this really old textile mill. I don't know if I'd say it's like where cotton goes or something like that, like sewing machines and stuff like that. I think that's what it is. It's like cotton. They use like cotton and sewing machines. Textile mill. And it's a really, really old mill, and I love the design of the set they used for this old school factory. It just looks old, dusty, dirty, everybody's sweating, it's hot, and it's about these people working on the graveyard shift. They're working late nights for double time. Some of them are getting paid minimum wage to do this, and they're working. Pretty much a drifter comes into town, our lead guy, which I thought he was a really good lead. I thought he did a great job at being this character who kind of gets picked on because he's the new guy in town, and he meets this girl, and I like their chemistry. I thought he was a great lead, and pretty much he gets there, gets a job at this mill, and they begin working there. There's this basement area which is all flooded, and below the basement area there's a group of caves and underground areas, basically. And you figure out what this creature is. And there's also a rat infestation. And the movie's about building up to that last third act where you finally get showed what's going on here. Because throughout the movie, people are getting picked off one by one. And you're wondering what's killing these people, because you only see like a shot of like a tail or maybe a wing. And when you finally get shown the creature, I thought it was really well done. The design of it, the way the puppetry was, the animatronics. I wouldn't even really say that. It didn't really seem like puppetry. It seemed like they used some really good effects. I mean, obviously it must have been puppetry or something like that, but it wasn't wonky or shaky or shoddy looking. It didn't look cheap. It looked disgusting and creepy. And when they find this creature, spoiler alert, this is a very unknown movie, so if you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to spoil it now. So spoiler alert from here on. But to give my rating before we get into the spoilers, because I do want you guys to see this movie. I do want you guys to, because it has a great cast, a great story. I think it's shot and directed very well by Ralph Singleton, which is why it's really unfortunate he wasn't going to make many other movies after this. But yeah, it looks great. I love the music to the movie. I love the atmosphere and the setting of this town, small town, about people working hard for their money and people just trying to get by in life. And you know, it's a great group of characters. That's another thing that this movie is. It's a great group of characters. You buy that they're friends. You buy they're people that hang out all the time. Their chemistry was really well done. I really love the group of characters in this movie, and even the villains, the bullies and assholes of the movie, I thought were done well as well. But yeah, to get into my rating, just until we get into the spoilers, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10, probably 7.5. It's really well done. It's a solid creature feature flick, and design of this creature, the way it looked, the special effects is pretty gory, pretty bloody. The story's pretty good and interesting. It's a short movie, an hour and 29 minutes, probably an hour and 25 without the credits. So, really short movie, has a great pace to it, never boring. Just a really down-to-earth, relatable horror film that I thought was really well done and well made. But to get into the spoilers now, I will say, when you see this creature, and the people who are watching now who have seen the movie know what I mean. I love the way it looks like a rat, kind of a rat combined with the bat. Just the way it's done, it looks incredible. The special effects were really well done. This is a very, very low budget movie, so the fact that these special effects look this good is pretty awesome. My favorite part of the movie is when they get to the bottom of this factory and you're seeing the layer and the design of the sets and the water stunts and a lot of the different other stunts. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the fight scene between the lead guy and the villain. I liked how the villain, he gets to meet the monster and get his comeuppance. I love the ending of the movie where the lead guy gets to fight back. It is a shame that the girl does die. I kind of wish it didn't happen. I thought she did a good job acting-wise. I thought she was also a good character. So it is a shame that she did die. That kind of sucks. Just the way they did it kind of was like, wow, really? They just killed the character off like that? Like, wow. But I like the idea of the lead guy fighting this monster and it getting crushed in this mill. I like that. It's a cool scene. Gory. Brad Dourif's scenes when he's telling the story to the lead guy and he's just really intense. I like that scene. I like the little things they put in there, like somebody grabbing I think a Pepsi can and using a slingshot and pulling it back and shooting at the rats. And that too, the idea of this rat infestation, I kind of liked, where it's this creepy. He just adds to this atmosphere of creepiness. The design of the basement, you really by that it's this rundown old basement with full of water, just flooded, and they're paying these people, oh, we pay you guys double for this. Or maybe they might even say triple. They pay them double or triple for doing that job and pay them overtime, so they're getting paid extra. But just the whole set design of that scene was pretty cool. The way it's done. The dialogue I really enjoyed from the characters. It was definitely very believable. And I think it's got a good story to it. It's got a good story to it. And I just enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed everything about it pretty much. There's only a couple things I had a problem with. Maybe is it does take a while to see the creature till literally the last third act of the film. I wish you kind of got to see it a little bit sooner than that. The girl getting killed off, I was like, eh. But honestly, I don't really have any other problems with this movie, which is why it's surprising to me this movie is underrated, because it's directed very well, it's shot very well, has an atmosphere, fast pace. Another problem I will say, before we get into all the positives, Brad Dourif's character is awesome and hilarious. Like the scene where he has the hose and he puts the water on the pipe and it shoots the rats out into the water. That was pretty hilarious. His character was really well done, but his death scene was disappointing because he goes into this grave cemetery area, and all that happens, how he gets killed is this stone moves. It's like, I don't know if it was a headstone or a casket or something. This concrete thing moves, hits him in the head, and it's a gory death scene. And especially, it's really disgusting because when he gets his head squashed, it just kind of scoots down. You see brain matter and gore in the wall. Very disgusting scene. But I'm like, so Brad Dourif's character, the Exterminator, dies from not even the villain of the movie, not even the creature of the movie. He dies from like a gravestone thing, and it smacks him in the head and destroys his head and kills him. I was like, wow, like that's the way his character dies? It's really okay. Definitely surprising, but besides that, like I said, it's just a movie that I thought was pretty well done. Definitely 7.5 out of 10 for me. It's a solid horror film. It's fast. It's suspenseful. It's creepy. It has atmosphere. It has likable characters, and that's something that I think I can really give this movie respect for. It's because every talking scene and dialogue scene you're into. You know, you're finding out more about these characters, and you're into it. It sucks you into the movie. And I can appreciate that, because not a lot of movies try to deal with their characters. So I can appreciate that. But yeah, the characters are really likable, the dialogue is interesting, the setting of the movie being about this old school mill is interesting. It's really well done. This is a really well done horror film, and I must say, it definitely surprised me when I first seen it. So if you haven't seen it, I have spoiled the movie for you, and I apologize for that, but I did say spoiler alert. If you have seen the movie, then let me know your guys' thoughts on the movie in the comments below. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know in the comments below. I personally really enjoy it. How would you rate the movie out of 10? But anyways, guys, it's going to be my review on Graveyard Shift. Thank you guys so much for watching the review. The Explorer 4 is out, and yeah, this is a really underrated movie. This is really good. I think more people should see this movie. You know, I think this movie deserves more recognition. It's definitely a very solid film. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching the review. Hope you guys enjoyed, and The Explorer 4 is out. See you guys later. Peace.